Hey guys, welcome back to another episode in the SLMKIII series. In this episode, we're going to be connecting Ableton with the Mark III's keyboard so you can get access to the features on the board like zones, sequencer, arpeggiators, and scales, and be able to kind of utilize it with Ableton, but with the board, not so much in control. Let's take a look. So we're going to be focusing to set up the SLMKIII in Ableton so you can have access to all the additional features and get the most out of your board. Now this method, same way if you're doing hardware instruments. I just don't have enough hardware gear to kind of utilize this feature. But down the road, I'll probably do the same. Okay, so the first thing that you're going to want to do is press Shift Sessions. Okay, and this is going to bring up your interface with all of your MIDI. Now yours isn't going to look like this, so let's just do an initial patch. Let's go ahead and load it. It's loaded. Sessions. Notice how it changed. Okay, now in Ableton, we're going to go into Options, Preferences. We're going to go into our link, tempo, and MIDI. You're going to want to make sure that your SL looks like this. Your option is down here, MIDI in 2. You're going to MIDI out 2, and then you're going to want to go down to your SL, the MIDI in, Novation. Make sure that it looks like this, and then go down to your output. Make sure your output looks like this. Okay. Now I'm going to put a link down below because it might show up a little bit differently. I know when I first had my SL hooked up, it was like one channel, but I'll put a link down below to get you guys situated. Okay, so the first thing that we want to look at while we're in Shift Sessions, this is our template. We have 8 different lanes. Okay, and for namesake purposes, these templates are built to control these devices, and we're just going to change everything over to MIDI. So let's scroll it over. Now this is just a naming convention to keep us organized. And I'm not going to cut anything because I want you guys to see everything that I'm doing. Okay. So now we have all of our MIDI lanes set up on each one of the 8 lanes. Next, we're going to go to USB. Make sure that USB is on. Our DIN, we can go ahead and toggle off, and our gate off, channel 1. Same thing with the next one. CV gate, channel 2. Let's just make sure our USB is on and our channels set in numerical order. Let's turn the DIN off. DIN. Everything's off. The only thing that we want is for it to say on, channel 1. Next one, on, channel 2, channel 3, and so forth, and just make sure it's in numerical order. Okay. Next thing you're going to want to do, and you can set this up however you want it. Okay. So let's go plugins. First one, I'm going to have analog V. Next one, I'm going to have complete control. Next one, why not? Let's throw massive. It doesn't matter the VSTs that you're putting in here, okay? This is just a template for you guys to get started, and you can have it whatever you want. Let's go Nexus, so we got 4 channels. I like Korg, so let's do the Triton. Let's do the M1. So what do we have here? 6. Let's throw Contact on here, why not? And then the last one, let's do Ableton. Let's grab a drum rack and let's just drop it. Okay, so now you have 8 channels, okay? And to keep yourself a little more organized, I'm just gonna color coordinate each one of these. So first one's blue. Let's do the second one yellow. That's not really yellow. Yellow. Third one green. Next one, you're like a reddish orange. Maybe that. Do you. Next one, actually you're like a teal. You're a green. Next one, you're like an orange. Next one, almost like a pink. And then the last one is definitely a red. Okay? Now, why am I doing this? Well, if you look at the color palette onto your keyboard, first one's blue, second one's yellow, teal. That's a, I mean, it's supposed to be orange, but on the light guide, it kind of looks yellow-ish. Green, that one's really bright. Pink, red. Okay, and this will make sense later on. But if you want to change the color here, you just click on it, you change the color. But you could set up however you want, okay? But for our next step, what we're going to do is we're going to go channel 1, channel 2, channel 3, channel 4, channel 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, let's go ahead, let's go into patterns. Actually, let's do steps. So, notice how you're not getting anything. Well, these are all assigned to different channels. But there's one more step that we need to do. Turn your monitoring to in on all of your channels. So why is this important? As you can see, if I'm on 1, 2, I go to 3, 4, and so forth, okay? So I have this situated, so I have parameters, I have access to 8 different MIDI channels in Ableton. Last time we looked at the in control, but this is different, okay? Now that it's situated this way, you get access to the zones. So this section, scales, all of it, you get access to these features and Ableton at the same time. So let's go ahead and turn these off. And if you're interested about zones, obviously that's in the playlist. Everything's going to be in the playlist for you guys. But this gives you a way to have access to all the features here and Ableton at the same time, which is pretty nice. Okay, and this is an important step moving forward into the next videos, because this is going to kind of tie everything in together. However, Obviously, you can use this board however you like, but this just gives you more access to those features. Now, if we go over to sessions, I already have a bank set up called user, but let's just say for this purpose, see how it says initial, we're just gonna hit save. It's flashing, I'm gonna tap it, now it's saved. Now if I want, I can switch between different sessions. This is just a super simple way of saving your sessions. This one is the way that I have set up for my external instruments. If I hit sessions, this one is going to be the one that we just programmed. However, you're gonna wanna save a template in Ableton. So with this, you're gonna go File, Save Live Set as a template. And you see I already made one up here, but let's just name it Novation Template. And then I can just template 2. And when you're in Ableton, you can switch between a bunch of different templates, but this is gonna get you a lot more features, and it's gonna make a lot more sense when we start going into the other videos. Okay, so the one thing that I do want you guys to note, to be mindful of, is when you switch into in control mode, arming your tracks is going to be a little bit different because of how we have our channels set up. Now this is a good base template if you want to mess around with the zones and the scale, sequencer, ARP, all those features, but you just want to be mindful of your monitoring situation because we changed the input to all those channels. So if you want to make sure that your in control toggles through, you'll have to toggle out, switch over, go back in. Let's say we want to be on this channel. Control. So just one thing to be mindful of when you do set it up this way. But it is fun and I recommend it if you really want to dive into these features. Hey guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to check out the entire series. I'm going to try to get as much information in there for you guys about this keyboard so you can be well-rounded with it. There's a lot. So like, subscribe, check out other content on the channel. And if you like this content, check out that video and that one. And make sure to save this playlist. We'll see you on the next one.